Well, hello and welcome to the very first Berea Arts Fest art show. We're so glad you're here, and my name is Dan Karp, and I'm the artistic director for the Berea Arts Fest.
Hi, I'm Rich Seiler. I'm the coordinator for the Berea Arts Fest, and welcome to our show. We have a lot of great things to share with you for the 30 ways the Berea Arts Fest can come to you virtually this year. It's our 30th anniversary, and we're all glad to see you. We have surprises the whole night through, but one of our very first surprises just happened this past Sunday with one of our musical performers that happened at Coe Lake. Her name was Ava Preston. She was a lovely and very talented young lady at the young age of 15, performing and writing her own jazz songs. And we recorded that and put that on our YouTube channel. But if you were there, you saw her in person, and it was incredible. But if you weren't there, maybe we show them a little clip or something.
All right, that sounds good. Let me cue up the clip for that. All right, here you go.
My name is Ava Preston, and this is a song that I wrote called Toy Soldier. So my feelings are out, and the crowds have died down. I gave it a shot. What more can I want? There's nothing left now. And those little toy soldiers that you sell when you're older, 'cause you wanna move on when your play days are done. Be the person you should have become. And I'm left broken and in pieces and parts of myself, hoping someday I'll learn how to fix them, to make something more than I was, with my arms wide open to the burning regret in my chest that I carry around, 'cause I can't face the thought of forgetting.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Ava, for that performance. Now, we didn't show you the whole thing. Ava did a couple of songs for us. Again, she was over at the gazebo in Coe Lake. There were a bunch of people that just happened by walking their dog. They may have been out fishing, and they got to be entertained by Ava. But you don't have to miss it. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, and you can see the full performance there. In fact, we're going to put every one of our pop-up performances on our YouTube channel every week.
Hey, when's your next performance?
Well, that's just it. Well, we're not going to tell you. That's part of the fun of it. You know, one of the great things of the Berea Arts Fest is that we've always had amazing performers. And we wanted to continue that during our 30 days, our 30th anniversary of the Arts Fest. So every week, we're going to have an unannounced, and you don't know where it's going to be at, pop-up performance from one of our favorite performers somewhere in the city of Berea. Now, I don't want to tell you where it's at because, of course, we don't want to get a lot of people collected because it's not the right thing to do right now. But if I were a betting man, I would say that probably midweek next week, maybe somewhere in the middle of Berea, you might find a pop-up performance in the middle of the day. So if you don't worry, if you miss it, you know where you're going to find it. It's going to be on Berea Arts Fest YouTube channel. It's called 2020 Berea Arts Fest. And we'll have the performance on there. Plus, follow us on social media because we'll be able to link you right off of our social media platforms to the YouTube channel. So, what else do we have to talk about, Rich?
Well, if you didn't already know, we are featuring all of the artists that would have presented their work at the Arts Fest this year, all virtually.
Well, how many, Rich, how many artists are you talking about?
There's a lot of them. I can't even count anymore. No, there are 90 we would have had this year.
90 artists. So it was going to be a big show also, which is amazing.
It would have been really amazing. And we didn't want all of our guests to miss out on that. So what we've done is we put them all up on our website. Cool. And we're featuring them daily. So that's 3 artists a day for the 30 days. Mm-hmm. And just yesterday, if you were tuning in, you would have seen Joyce Radloff with her jewelry, her precious stones set in her jewelry. You'd have seen Scott Blair and Mary Waters, their ceramics. And Scott and Mary have been with us for many years. You probably know their faces very well. And lastly for yesterday was Mary Ryan, who does these Ohio backyard birds. They were all watercolors. And if you live here in the Cleveland area, you've probably seen these birds in your backyard. Not to mention what we've missed up till now, which was about 15 artists. We've got artists like David Lackey and Lackey Road Guitars. In fact, they've got one of his guitars right here made from a cigar box.
That is super cool.
And it's electric. Plug it in, turn it up, rock out.
Nice.
We'll plug it in later, maybe when Dan's neighbors are asleep.
There you go.
Not to mention Jen Marie Steiber, who does her plant rooters. It's her vines, glass, and copper work.
Jen Marie, I think she's been at the Arts Fest ever since the Arts Fest has existed.
Close, if not correct. You're right.
Yeah, I think that everybody knows her work, and we all look forward to seeing what she has every year.
Yeah. And last one to highlight is Billy Cribbs, who does these great, weird, strange creatures. That is not an offensive thing to tell him. He calls his work the extravaganza of the strange. And we'll talk about him a little bit later, but he makes monsters and other sorts of creatures that kids, adults, everyone loves.
So you can't miss it. That's a reason to go check out our webpage, BreaArtsFest.org, just to see this work. It's pretty amazing. And I think I heard a rumor that tonight at 78th Street Studios, in your gallery, he's showing tonight.
That's correct. So Billy Cribbs has an incredible interactive experience in my gallery called 11-2, which is at West 78th Street Studios. He brought the weird, he brought the strange, and he brought the creative. It's called the extravaganza of the strange. I can't ruin it for everybody because it is something that you have to step into. It's not just art on the walls. It's not just art on pedestals. It is an experience, and you'll get that when you show up.
That sounds really cool.
And
that's awesome.
Check it out, and check out all of our artists for this first week, and all the artists coming up soon. And you can do that by subscribing on our website.
So all I have to do is go there and enter your email address, and every day we're going to annoy the heck out of you and send you an email that links you back to our website so you can see those featured artists. One of the things I wanted to mention is the reason why we're doing this is normally we would have all gotten together on Front Street. In fact, this past Sunday, September 13th, was the scheduled Berea Arts Fest day. About 10,000 of you would have shown up on Front Street and walked up and down from 10 to after 10 looking at these artists' work. And then most of you walk home with a piece of art. And so that's what we're hoping is going to happen here, is that every day you're going to go to our website and check out these artists just like you would have gone tent by tent. And you're going to find the piece that you want. You'll have the ability to link off to their website if they have that, or we've given you their contact information so that you can reach them at their gallery if you're interested in purchasing a piece of art. It's really important, especially during this time, that we support our local artists. They really need you to be active in purchasing and participating in the art community. So thanks a lot for checking that out for us.
Dan, did you know you can still get artwork from the Berea Arts Fest this year?
What? How can I get artwork? That's true. I go every year to the Arts Fest, and in between solving all of your problems out there, I go up and down the street, and my wife and I often purchase pieces. So it's not an Arts Fest unless I can walk home with a piece of art. So Rich, how am I going to walk home with a piece of art?
Well, every year at the Arts Fest, our artists are so generous. They donate their artwork for our raffle booth, where you can buy tickets and drop them in the slots, and then we pull your name and you win great pieces of artwork. Since we're not seeing you in the physical this year, our artists have come through. They've donated work for us.
Nice. To
raffle off.
Is that this stuff here?
That's what all this stuff is that cool. I cluttered your house with.
Nice.
But I'm taking it with me. It's not for you. It's for our guests.
All right, fine.
So what we have here is great work, and you might say, well, how do I win this guitar from David Lackey? And I say, well, Dan, you don't know how to play guitar, so you're not going to win that.
Right.
And then I've got a ring here from Holly Zewalk, who does metal casting and jewelry. And then I have another
That's super cool
necklace sitting back here by the Lake Jewelry, It's by Christmas Mensa. And
Okay.
the list keeps going. We have this purse by Lynn Patricia and a watercolor back here by Nancy Notariani. And I have a box of other stuff here. I can't show it all right now. It was just great artwork.
So the idea is that every week when you tune into this terrible show, you're going to have an opportunity to win one of these pieces of artwork. And the way that you're going to do that is simply by donating to the Berea Arts Fest. For every $10 donation, your name gets thrown into a bucket, and we're going to pull it live here on the show, and one of you lucky souls is going to win this piece of artwork. So if the case would be, let's say you donate $50, we're going to throw 5 slips of paper in there with your name on it. So for every $10, you get another entry to win one of these pieces of artwork.
Right. And on our website and on our social media, we'll be posting the images of these works that you can win. Every little bit helps, and thank you in advance for supporting the Berea Arts Fest. But $10, you get an electric guitar. Oh, yeah.
So what's really cool about the Arts Fest, obviously, is that we bring local artists right there on Front Street so that you can support them. And one of the things that we really believe in for artists is inspiring their own work and helping them. We see that year after year when artists again return to the Arts Fest. We see them growing as artists. They get a larger following. Some of them sometimes turn it into full-time businesses for themselves. And so every week we wanted to feature a story about an artist and how their career has evolved. And I thought no better place to start than our very own Rich Seiler. So Rich is not just only an amazing coordinator for the Berea Arts Fest, helps pull together the beautiful chaos that is the Arts Fest into the show that you love, but he also is an artist himself, and he owns his own gallery at 78th Street Studios. He is also a staff person at Baldwin Wallace University in the art department, and he's had several other businesses in the past. And I thought maybe he could take a few moments and share his story about how did he know when as he was a struggling artist, when it was time for him to make the leap into having his own gallery and being in his own business. So, Rich, give us a few minutes about how that happened for you.
Wow. It's a great question. I went to art school at Baldwin Wallace, where I currently work, and just thought I'd make artwork after I graduated, right? Mm-hmm. What you would do, make art, take it to galleries. And I found that at that time, there weren't that many galleries that appealed to a new artist. So at 24 years old, I opened up my first art gallery, and it was a great learning experience. It was something I probably should have studied for more. When artists ask, well, how do I do this? I just jumped right in. Mm-hmm. How do you set up a business? How do you get a tax ID? How do you establish all those business things? I had no idea, but I did it, and I had great friends and great help along the way. And I opened my first art gallery, and what a learning experience. And that was already 16 years ago. And time flies. And as we fast forward, I've owned a frame shop, and I'm on to my second gallery with 2 other partners right now. And it's an experience that, whether you're into the arts or not, that you should always take that leap of what you believe in, and that's yourself. I deal with artists and students daily who are unsure of what they're going to do when they graduate, or they're unsure how they're going to get their work out there. And as artists, we've become our own boss. We have to become our own driver. So a lot of times when I speak to people, mostly new artists, that's what we talk about, how to get going, and give it a try. The only person let you down is yourself, and chances are you're not going to let yourself down.
That's really great, Rich, and it's really inspirational. So give us a little insight. Like,
okay.
Every artist has a moment where they doubt themselves
every day.
And right. So okay, well, there you go. So every day he doubts himself. So now you should feel better. But what was there ever a moment when you thought, what have I done? What have I done? And what triggered that moment of doubt? Like, so that people can identify it, like, oh, this is common to feel doubt after this.
You know what? We'll dial it really far back. I think as an artist, you always doubt your work. And if you don't, then you're not really an artist. In high school, I had a high school art teacher who photographed my work, submitted to 2 schools for me, while I submitted to a third, and I got 3 scholarships from those schools. And it was because someone else believed in me. And it's kind of a weird thing to think of, because you think that you would believe in yourself. And all it took was a little bit of support around me to make that happen. But I think we doubt ourselves all the time. Is it good enough? Could I have done things better? Could I have, worked on this harder? And you're always going to beat yourself up. But you know what? Do it, and then move on to the next project and the next. And soon enough, you'll have a collection. You'll have a body of work, and you just have to move forward. You can't stand still, because that's an artist's worst place to be, is not moving.
Yeah, I feel that. I will say that's a lot like the Arts Fest itself. I was going to say, and one of the joys that we have is that we get to work with Rich, but I will tell you, there's a moment in every year, probably would have happened about a couple weeks ago, right before the Arts Fest, that I think Rich and I and the team, the Arts Fest, we doubt whether or not, I don't think it's coming together. I think it's not going to happen. And then lo and behold, by 10 o'clock on that Sunday morning, it's a show, and it looks great. And I think that, even a big festival like the Berea Arts Fest, it doubts itself at the last minute.
But it's a magical experience, and you feel it when you're there. I think everyone feels it, that it's coming together, and there's life with everyone there, every entity, from the performers to our volunteers to our board. We all show up, and at that moment, it happens. And
they all show up, and it's very cold at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and it's dark, and so you really got to feel something. Yeah. So it's the, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
So in all these years, that you've, your career has progressed, and you've taken the risks, and you've had the doubt, and you've worried about it, but you kept moving forward. Like you said, you just kept doing it, because you don't want to be stagnant, right? You don't want to stop. So, and that's really great advice. There had to have been like a surprise. What's the biggest surprise? Like, oh my gosh, it worked, or I didn't expect it to work this well.
There are many surprises, and I think when I talk to entrepreneurship classes and young artists, and I tell them my story, they don't. I don't want to say they don't believe me, but as long as you keep moving forward, things kind of fall in your lap. Right when I graduated from school, I had an opportunity to illustrate a children's book.
Cool.
No pay. It was self-published. Oh. And I go...
Oh, you mean you got the opportunity to do a lot of work.
I got a lot of exposure. But this paid off. We did the book. It was 30 pages. And it was called Eating Gluten-Free with Emily. You can find it. And, that I was just 21 years old. And I won't tell you how old I am now. But it was...
Old.
An opportunity. And then the book happened. We got our copies, and... I worked with an author, and it was the first book of its type on celiac disease, which right now a lot of us have heard of celiac and things like gluten, but 19 years ago, that wasn't so common. So it was the first children's book on celiac disease. And after a year or two went by, you almost forget about the work you've done. Mm-hmm. I got an email or a phone call from the author, and she said, we just got picked up by... Woodbine House, which was like a major publisher.
Cool.
She said, you're getting royalty checks in the mail for a project I had done years prior. So now I was getting paid. And then it was picked up by Amazon and some of its sub-companies. And for years after that, I got royalty checks in the mail. And I felt, yes, paying off. So there are many opportunities like that fall into your lap. It's still a lot of work, right? I had to draw, redraw, repaint these paintings or these pictures. But great opportunity. And it's the tip of the iceberg. I was able to paint one of the large guitars for the United Way. I've been picked up by major energy drinks to do events, and major other beverages and live events. And you start adding those up to your list of accomplishments, and you look back after a few years and go, wow, I've really done something with my life's path. And
don't act so surprised.
You can't plan out 10 years in advance. You can't even plan out the year in advance. You just have to kind of take it day by day. And because of that, I've been able to meet many people locally, and then celebrity, and it's been great. So take the chances that work best for you. Make sure that you're not losing in that deal. Make sure it works for both parties. And what do you have to lose?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's awesome.
It's worked out.
That's awesome. So you're really, Rich is really cool. He's an inspiration to a lot of artists that are emerging. They're trying to find those ways forward, hoping that things fall in their lap that eventually pay off for their success. And, trying to take those leaps of faith out there to help their own careers. And this is really inspirational, so I don't want to make too much fun of you, but I think that you've gotten so big now that I really think you're kind of out of touch with the starving artist, the person that's off the top. I think you're kind of like the big corporate mogul kind of a guy, and I don't really think you know much about what it really takes to be a young artist anymore. So, don't even talk. I got something for you.
What's your name? Stan?
Yeah,
Stan,
exactly. That's right.
Stan, I'm grounded with...
All right, so that's why it's time now. You're going to play The Price is Right for artists. It's time for us to abuse Rich a little bit. Can
I tell you a fun story before we play the game?
Okay, go ahead. Fine. Tell us a fun story.
I was actually on the set of The Price is Right when I was 20 years old. I was 3 rows behind. I saw Bob Barker.
Cool.
I should have gone up on stage. I wasn't feeling well that day. And I know I would have been on stage. But I could have touched him. That's how close I was.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is...
I have experience, so you're not going to beat me.
All right, this will be good. So we're going to see how good Rich is at being able to price everyday art objects as part of The Price is Right for artists. So I'm going to get a little set up here real quick for a little bit, and then we're going to play this game. Let me turn this down a little bit here. We have a high-quality production set here where we have to get to do everything. So, Rich... when you're at the Price is Right and doing stuff, and one of the games that I love the most from the Price is Right is a game called High Low, and it's pretty simple. All you have to do is look at a common everyday product. In this case, we chose art supplies. And you would think somebody big and powerful in the arts like Rich would know the price of art supplies, or maybe he's so big and powerful that he's out of touch with what the common person is. You said you talked about how you have power drinks and stuff sponsoring you. You're like NASCAR, right? You probably don't pay for any art supplies anymore. You just have it delivered to you.
It just shows up.
It just shows up, exactly. See how that works, people? Just see how that works. So let's pull out a few pieces of art supplies here, and it's real simple. All you have to do is look at the price that I have listed on the piece and tell me whether or not the actual suggested retail price is higher than the price shown or lower than the price shown. And then we'll see how many of these you win out of it. So just to make it interesting, we're going to have Rich play for one of our viewers out here. The poor viewer that's wasting their time tonight watching this. You ought to try to win something. So Rich is going to play. Let's find a name here of somebody that's viewing. And it is Beth McPherson from Brunswick. We're so sorry, Beth. So we're going to have, Rich is going to play for Beth tonight.
Okay.
And if he wins, then Beth, you are going to win a fabulous prize from the Berea Arts Fest. And you are going to win a gift certificate from Cafe Aroma right here in Berea, a wonderful coffee shop. And it'll be a $20 gift card to Cafe Aroma. And a little bit later on in the show, we're going to tell you about a wonderful partnership that we have during our 30th anniversary with Cafe Aroma. So anyways, let's get started. And I just have to check how many I have here. 1, 2, 3. I have 6. So there are 6 pieces here that you have to price. So if you get 4 out of the 6 correct, now let's make it easier for you. If you get 3 out of the 6 correct, then Beth will win the fabulous gift card. All right? So we'll see how you do.
Do you know I used to work at a craft store, right? So I know all these prices.
Yeah, but again, you're old and out of touch, Rich. That's all there is to it.
All right, let's
okay.
Stand.
So the very first piece I have for you is this classic product, which is a Strathmore drawing pad. It is 24 sheets. It is 9 by 12. And my suggested drawing pad price that I have, and I will share this, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have $5.99 on this. So it's the actual price of this Strathmore drawing pad. It's a spiral bound. It is 9 by 12 and it has 24 sheets. This is a standard art supply that any art student would have to get. It would be something that you would pick up on a regular basis. Is it more or less than $5.99?
Strathmore drawing pad.
Let me move this over here.
9 by 12.
I'll try to do it so that I can put the...
24 sheets. You're saying it's...
put it there. There you go.
$5.99.
Is the actual price higher or lower than $5.99? All right, Rich, we have to go home sometime
I know.
today.
All right. It's tough because I feel like it should be $5.99. Like it's really close to that price, but I'm going to...
All right, I'm dying here. All right.
I'm going to say lower.
You think it's lower than $5.99? Well, let's just take a look at the actual price. It's
What?
higher. The actual price is $9.99.
What year is this?
What? The current year, Rich. This is what real people in real stores pay.
Oh, my
Unlike
goodness.
you. So there's one down. So mark yourself down loser on one of them. All right. Now let's move on to the next one. Here's another classic art supply. Oops, upside down. This is a pre-stretched canvas. It is, what size?
9 by 12.
It's another 9 by 12 size. It is put out by Artist Loft. I will say that it is a mid-range canvas. It's not the bargain basement value, and it's also not the top of the line.
It's a strong student brand.
It's strong student brand. So if at the canvas, I have this 9 by 12 pre-stretched canvas, priced at $8.49. $8.49. Would you say the actual retail price is higher or lower than this? Remember, you're playing for Beth out there.
Beth.
Poor Beth.
Beth, it is lower than $8.49. It's lower.
So you think you can go in the store and buy this for less than $8.49?
You can go in any store and buy that for less than
The
$8.49.
actual retail price is higher. It is $12.49. Welcome to 2020.
Oh my goodness.
Rich, I just want to point out that, honest to gosh, he was not allowed to see any of this at a time. I have them in a brown paper bag down here, and he barely even knew what the game was. So
I know what the game is. This is Let's Make a Deal.
All right. Well, you said you are an expert. All right. So, Rich, again, you have to get 3 right in order for Beth to win a prize.
All right.
All right. This one should be super easy, Rich. This is something you're very familiar with. This is your classic painting brush. It is, again, we chose a mid-range, not a high-end, not a low-end, but a mid-range brush. It is a size 8 for acrylics. What else can I tell you about it?
It's a Filbert.
It's a Filbert. You got it. Pretty common brand.
No, it's not a brand. It's a style. The style of the head.
Sorry,
it's the
there
curve.
you go. Okay.
And is that authentic horsehair sable? Is that authentic?
Oh my God.
Feels pretty soft. So that might be authentic.
Okay. All right. So I have this brush at $5.99. Would you say that the actual retail price is higher or lower than $5.99?
It's higher. That is authentic sable. That is from a horse.
The actual retail price is lower. It's $3.90.
Did you say it was authentic, or did you say that it was?
I'm going based on your years and years of expert artistic ability.
All right. Well, we still have 3 more to go, right? I can still do this.
Beth, I'm so sorry. All right. You know, Rich, this is obviously really difficult for you, but this should be something that you really get. So here is our next item. It is your classic tube. It's a larger tube. How many ounces is this? It is 5 fluid ounces of zinc white, golden brand, acrylic paint. Again, this is a standard art supply. You probably bought many, many, many of these.
Oh, yeah. I've got that. Golden. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how much did this tube cost? Was it more or less than $12.99?
It's got to be more than $12.99. That is a big tube of paint.
Is that your final answer?
Beth, I'm not going to let you down. It is more than $12.99.
The actual retail price is $18.99. Again, this is not on sale or provided by one of your crony sponsors. This is a real price of $18.99.
Crushing this game.
All right. Yay. All right. There you go. Phew. Beth, thank goodness. All right, Rich. The stress is too much for you. I can tell. He's sweating over here. And so let's get at something more in your realm. Okay. Something that, if you've seen Rich's work, it's fantastic. It's super colorful. He uses a lot of stencils, spray paint work. He works on other surfaces like skateboards and wood and all kinds of...
You got a skateboard in there?
No, I have art supplies that are more up your alley, more your speed. So let's start with the first one here. I have this classic box of Crayola crayons. Now, this is something I know Rich is very familiar with because I think he works in this media. So
I have the 200 count box.
This is the, well, I didn't want to confuse you. There's 24 different colors in here, Rich. That's a lot for you. So this is your classic 24 selection of Crayola crayons. It says here you can create and play, Rich, with it. And so if I were in the store and I were buying this, would it be more or less than $3?
Oh.
$3 for this box. Rich, I know you. I think you probably buy a set of crayons every week, don't you?
I do.
All right, so Rich.
I do.
All right, so is it more or less than $3?
It's,
I hope you're playing along here at home. So if you're playing along here at home, put into the chat how well you're doing, which I would imagine you're doing a lot better.
it's more than $3. It's more. It's Crayola.
Rich, it's $1.79.
Crayola is like the gold standard. You got that wrong. It's $11.79 is the price.
All right.
$11.79.
Beth. All right. I'm going to give you one
All
last
right.
chance.
All
This
right,
one
let's
is
do
worth 2 credits. 2 credits. Your last one. You have to get this right. This is something I know you work with every day. It's a package of pink pipe cleaners.
Yes.
I don't think they call them pipe cleaners anymore. I think they call them chenille.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they do call them pipe cleaners. Chenille pipe cleaners. It's in Berea Arts Fest pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a suggested, my price of $2.
It's a rare color, so that probably makes them really expensive.
So is the suggested retail price higher or lower than $2, Rich? Come
There's
on,
25 of them in there?
Yes, there's 25 of them.
It's pretty rare.
It's suggested for people 4+ years of age.
4 years of age.
I think you qualify for that. They are, 1/4 inch diameter, 25 pieces. Come on, Rich.
All right.
It's $2.
It's pretty obvious those are less.
All right.
But,
Thank
yeah.
goodness. They are 99 cents. Woo!
So I'm right there. I got half of them right.
So in the end, hooray, Beth! Rich has pulled it out in the end for you, and we will be in contact with you to get your gift card to Cafe Aroma right here in beautiful Berea, Ohio, where the Berea Arts Fest lives and has its festival.
Do I get a free cup of coffee too?
No, you get nothing. In fact, you don't even get these art supplies. I'm going to go return them to the store. All right, so where are we, Rich, in our show? What's next here?
Oh, let's see. I don't know, Dan. I don't know where we're at.
So let's play a little bit of music while we figure that out. All right, let's turn this music down. All right, there we are.
Dan,
Yes.
let's turn the quality of the show up a little bit.
For heaven's sakes, let's
Let's stop embarrassing ourselves.
or you. All right. All right.
All right. So every week at this time is when we're going to do a raffle.
Right.
Right. All these pieces that we were showing you earlier, this guitar, ring, necklace, watercolor, purse, and so much more is what we're going to do at this time. And you're asking, well, how do I do that? Go to the website, BreaArtsFest.org. Look at our donations tab. And for every $10 you donate, you get an entry into one of these prizes that we'll feature weekly starting next week. So if you donate 10, you get 1 chance. You donate 20, you get 2 chances, so on and so forth. It's a great way to support the Berea Arts Fest and go home with a great piece of artwork from one of our artists. And we had 90 artists this year.
Awesome. That is really great. So look forward to it next week. And we're going to be collecting names between now, from the beginning of the Arts Fest on the 13th, all the way through next Friday. And we're going to put you all in the bucket to win. And we'll announce a winner next week. In fact, it looks like we have enough pieces of art. We may do a couple of winners
Probably
every week, which would be great. And so look forward to that. And we'll start that next week. So right now, though, I think we have to have 2 announcements of other activities that are coming up during the Arts Fest 30th anniversary. One of the great areas of the Arts Fest every year is the Kid Creation Station. That's that phenomenal tent that we have out there, allows the young people that visit the Berea Arts Fest to engage and do an art project while they're there. Hopefully their family's helping them with it too. And it attracts a lot of folks to it, and we have so much fun doing it every year. We have great sponsors for the Kid Creation Station, and we want to continue that this year. So we came up with a really great idea. Starting this Sunday on the 20th and going for an entire week, and while supplies last, you're going to be able to pick up a kid craft kit that is absolutely free. And you're going to be able to take it home for your children, and together with them do an Arts Fest craft. So what's really important to understand is that we've distributed these out to places that are favorites of the Berea Arts Fest. You can go into Cafe Aroma, which is right on Bridge Street there in Berea, and you're going to find a display for the Berea Arts Fest that has the packaged crafts for you. Or you can go across town to Mootown Creamery, which is right on Bagley Road, and again, go into their store, and they're going to have a display there that has crafts that you can pick up to take home and work with your kids on. So, Rich, tell us about the 2 crafts projects that we have for them.
The first one is a kaleidoscope project where you get to make and take your own kaleidoscope.
Cool.
Decorate it however you'd like. Stickers, markers, glitter, pipe cleaners. Dan has some pipe cleaners he's going to share with you. And the second project is an artist's clipboard. Again, we're going to supply the kids with a clipboard and the material to cover it and draw their own creation, and then allow them to have this kind of mobile art gallery that they can hang up in their rooms or take around with them. You know,
I really love both of those projects, but the clipboard one makes total sense right now, especially with a lot of students at home, and they might need an extra hard surface to do their work on, and this way they can personalize it and create art on it, but they can also do their homework on it. I think that'd be really great, and who doesn't love a kaleidoscope with it? So again, both of those crafts are available at Cafe Aroma and Mootown Creamery, and they're available starting this Sunday, which is September 20th, through the rest of the week while supplies last. We're going to refill the bucket every so often with the crafts. Here's a really important part about that.
I got it. You and I will teach a class on making kaleidoscopes and clipboards.
You know, no, I don't really want to do that. So, but I think you already have an idea about that. Who's going to help our kids out there create these crafts?
Well, yeah, you're right. I don't know how to make a kaleidoscope.
He's out of touch with the reality. So anyways, go ahead.
2 Arts Fest volunteers, Lacey and Ari, 2 8-year-olds who put together videos for us. And those videos will be available when those bags are available next week, so that the kids can watch the video, make a project along with Lacey and Ari under their instructions.
That's super cool. So visit our YouTube channel on Sunday, and you're going to see the videos of Lacey and Ari, and they're going to help us and help the kids go through how they can make the craft. It's really cute videos, and you should check it out. One of the things we also want you is when you're done creating your kaleidoscope or your artist clipboard, please share that with us on our social media. So make sure that you tag the Berea Arts Fest on Instagram or on Facebook, and share a picture of your completed artwork, and we'll be sure to like it and thank you for it. And we're really excited to see how they turn out. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. So look for those starting again this Sunday at Cafe Aroma and Mootown Creamery. We're so glad that we could offer that up. But that's not the only fun activity that we have coming up for you. Rich, tell us about the second one.
Whoa, slow down, Dan. We're also offering an adult project, okay? So I got this piece back here that was donated by a great friend of the Arts Fest, Nancy Notariani. She's going to have a watercolor class for adults with us.
Cool.
So we're going to have, there are 2 drop downs on our donations page. You can see for that class. One is for supplies. If you don't have any painting supplies, you can get them through the Arts Fest and through Nancy. Or if you do have your own supplies, then there's another drop down. But Nancy's going to be teaching a class on Zoom digitally, so you can do your class from the privacy of your own home, along with your friends, because you want to take a class with your friends, and have an adult beverage sitting there, some wine or some beer. But Nancy's going to teach that Zoom class for all of our guests of the Arts Fest. I don't know what quite the project is, but if you go to our website, BreaArtsFest.org, you can see multiple projects Nancy has done in the past for her classes and her great work with watercolors. So again, that's an adult watercolor class coming up on October 3rd. Space is very limited, so sign up now and call your friends and get your spots booked.
That is really awesome.
Yeah.
So again, it's a limited spaces. So sign up now and reserve your spot with it. It's October 3rd. And the best way to do that is visit BreaArtsFest.org under the donations tab. Make a donation now and you'll see that you can select with supplies or without supplies. If you choose with supplies, we'll send you the information on where you go to pick up the supplies, which I believe is at Nancy's studio.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So that will be really great. If not, you may have supplies already, unlike Rich, who clearly has never bought any of his own supplies, and he has them delivered to him every time. So let's just mark him down right now to have the supplies delivered to him. So we love you, Rich. Well, you know what, Rich? I think that brings us to the end of our show.
No, we're done.
Yeah, that was really fun. So thank you for wasting a good half an hour with us and talking about the Berea Arts Fest. We hope that you enjoyed some part of it. And tune in again next week where we'll start raffling off the great pieces of art that our favorite artists have donated to us. And we look forward to seeing you follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, and check in the Berea Arts Fest website as often as you can every day to see new artists. It would be really great. So thanks a lot for coming tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Can I stay here till next week?
No, you have to go home, Rich, because it's my basement, and I really don't want you here.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. We'll see ya.